What's going on, girl?
How are you? Thank you
I'm
for.
doing good. I'm just making sure no one says that I look like a mature Eminem on this live. So I don't look like a mature Eminem.
You look great. You look completely amazing, honestly.
So do you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here. I thank you for having me. Um, I say hello to Stanley. I see Stanley's on.
Yeah, Stan's here. I know Kawan is on here. Strawberry Lit Magazine's on here. So
I'm
there'll be
excited.
some more coming. But yeah, we got the full team on deck. So let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Gemma magazine. Oh, Tremina Caruth just showed up. There's Mother magazine. Oh, we got all kinds of magazines coming out of the
Oh,
woodwork.
I'm super nervous.
Oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So let me see here. Got it right here. Okay. So you are a Gemma magazine. Why don't you tell me about your magazine and what it's all about?
Absolutely. Okay, so my name is obviously, my girlfriends or anybody who wants to can call me Lizzy. I'm Elizabeth. A lot of people think my name is Gemma. They do. It is not Gemma, but I did name it Gemma Magazine. It's a double meaning. It's like kind of these artistic characteristics, of
Mhm.
actors and performers and artists, which I liked. And it also actually means someone that follows their own path, takes their own creative path, kind of a loner. And I thought, you know what, this sounds familiar. Someone that's drawn to the arts, and I like the dual meaning. And so and it stuck. It was easy. It was easy to remember. So I said, I'm going to go with Gemma Magazine. And, from the beginning, I mean, it's weird. I wanted to make it completely like I had a mission in mind. I didn't want to be the girl that's just promoting all the other Caucasian white women out there who I love, but I wanted to really embrace diversity. I have a diverse family. I know you have a diverse family. And that was important to me. And I'm talking like with not just with models and fashion designers, but also with actors that I interviewed, and I have learned so much, and I'm so glad. I was afraid to take on that goal, but I'm glad I did because it's kind of opened my world, if that makes sense. To
Oh,
be,
absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I I don't know if you watched. I'm jumping a little bit. I don't know if you watched on Netflix, 7 Seconds with Corey Champagne. And it's an amazing series, and it's actually about police cover-ups and police brutality. And I got to interview Corey, uh, and I was so excited because I was so engrossed in the show even before I knew I was going to interview him. But just talking to him and getting his perspective on his character, Caduce, was amazing. So, it doesn't always go wonderful, but for the most part, that was a big highlight for me.
It strikes me as interesting that I haven't seen TV show in 4 weeks. There's zero time to watch television.
No, I know.
Uh, so I have not seen that Netflix yet. Oh, I'm jealous. You have coffee, or is that your wine? Yes, that's your wine.
Don't drink wine out of a mug, and it's not
Oh,
even but it is it's late for LA coffee. It's like, come on, 4 o'clock. Not seven, but four.
I was going to say because some of the viewers on tonight drink straight out of a bottle, so it shouldn't bother you. Um,
So it's
Oh
coffee.
boy. Okay. So Gemma, I forgot to tell you that we will be getting questions from the audience. So bear with me as I field them. What has been your biggest challenge with having a diverse magazine?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Thank you for that. Um, Sometimes my biggest challenge has been them saying yes. I think sometimes they might have a preconceived notion of, you know, um, it's going to be like a cookie cutter box type of thing or article. And I really enjoy learning people's journey, you know, from the beginning, middle, and end. And one of them, you know, for everybody involved, all the artists that I interview, there's always some struggle, and then there's always some drive, you know, to get there, and they're hungry. And I like that. I like, you know, hearing about that. I think that's what's so interesting. I actually got to interview Christian Keys from In Contempt, and I haven't watched TV either, trust me. I have not watched TV in a very long time. And I was shocked at how many times he told me, you know, he had to try to get his first role, you know, whether it's on AMC or Netflix, or it doesn't matter in terms of the network. But you know, people that you think might not struggle, or, oh, this came easy to them, they're good looking or whatever, great actor. No, they do. It's very competitive, a very competitive world. And it's competitive for me to get people as well, you know. But I love what I do, and I really enjoy learning about their journey. And of course, I love fashion. I mean, right now with the pandemic, there's no events. And, you know, there might be a fashion event online, virtual, but there's nothing like watching a collection. This sounds really LA, come down the runway, you know, there's just nothing like it. So that scream might have been my son playing video games. I apologize for that.
You'd either hear that or the dog was scratching under mine and licking the bottom of the door. So these things happen. And all I could do during Ori Spado's interview was just keep going like this.
Right?
I couldn't get up. Like, I literally was not going to get up. So don't even worry about it. Welcome to the Chronicles. Things happen. So I hope it's a good video game. So I miss playing those as well. You know, when it comes to doing the online magazine, explain a little bit more about the fashion sense of that, where it came from, what you're really trying to get across to folks.
Well, basically, I've always written about fashion. Like, I used to write for the LA Fashion, and then I contributed to okimagazine.com, which is actually in New York City. And I was always the fashion writer, you know, so I just thought, you know what, I think it's time where I can just, I really wanted to start my own, as most people do, shape it their way. You know, much easier said than done, but I really wanted to start my own, at least within fashion, and I felt like I had enough to start. Little did I know, once I started, there's so much more to learn, which that's part of the joy as well. But so I did have a good amount of contacts in terms of designers and other fashion editors that I could go to, and most of my friends are fashion designers. I think deep down I'm a wannabe fashion designer. I do, because I can't make a necklace. I can't, you know, I can't, my hands do not work that way, but I write, and I've always loved writing. And so then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna add, you know, contemporary art to this, pop art to this, acting to this. But with the fashion, you know, it was great because it got me into like LA Fashion Week or private fashion shows. And there is nothing like covering, like, you're exhausted, but covering LA Fashion Week. That was wonderful. I had a photographer with me, and, you know, we were really able to see some beautiful designers that I wouldn't have normally been able to have done, probably, at the other sites.
So the question I have, as a mature-looking M&M, do I have what it takes to walk the runway in LA at 5'5", 160 with a mug like that? Is this a good fashion shot for me? Can I walk the runway?
No. Okay, I just wanted to know. I just, you know,
Oh,
I just.
no, I meant yes. Yes.
Absolutely, Chris. You're going to get pushed to the door. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, Chris, of course, absolutely. You
Awesome.
know, you'd be surprised what you see on that runway. So you would definitely be surprised. And I wouldn't say you could wear it during the day. but I know that it was a big deal a few years ago, that only 2 years ago, I believe, that Naeem Khan came here. He's an Indian fashion designer and he's based in New York. Literally the most beautiful materials and silks and fabrics, super ornate. And that was a big deal for LA Fashion Week because, you know, everything originates in New York. So he came in, had his model crew. We got to go backstage and then watch the show. And then the Walter collection followed him, and they're LA based. So that was opening night. So I really, really enjoyed that. That was super fun. I mean, I think the reason I love fashion so much, maybe some of the people here will understand as well, is it's such like a great creative expression of who you are and your personality, you know, especially if you like to experiment, or you just want to have fun with it. And, you know, I love clothes. I genuinely and naturally love clothes. So, you know, everyone takes it differently, but that's definitely why I love fashion. It's just, I feel like I get excited by clothes. Oh, someone said you just might want to be in a Speedo when you walk in the runway. Oh,
That's Stan.
that's
That's
Stan.
Stan. Yeah. Yeah, that's Stan. Don't worry, I got something for Stan. So forgive me, my hearing aid is bothering me. So, in your opinion, have you seen a lot of is the denim jean look in? I mean, let's talk. You know, is there just a specific type of
I
am I
apologize.
buffering?
I was just turning it up. I apologize.
Oh no, no problem. I yell too loud, so that's why it's bothering. So the issue that I was asking about was if you were to tell us as fashion people that, you know, I go to the store, I buy a shirt, probably doesn't match, don't really care. It's at Walmart for $5 and it's mine. So what I'm asking you is, what is the current look really in the LA scene right now, diversified? What are some of those clothes that you are seeing on a regular basis?
Well, you know, gosh, with the pandemic and everything, people have been taking it easy, women and men, in terms of like wearing sweats. It's changing now. And a lot of tie-dye worn by both women and men. I'm not a huge tie-dye fan, but I see guys in a lot of shorts, you know, like the longer shorts, almost Southern style, like khaki or dark navy blue, you know, or I like the longer ones on guys, the Dickies, you know, with white tee or a very casual button down, short sleeve. For women, they're starting to pull out, you know, their shorts. It's very, you know, out here, it's a little bit more liberal. And as well as their sundresses and, you know, or jeans and tops, or the new thing is called a bralette. So it is, it's actually a fantastic look. It's like this, it's not a bra, but kind of like a bikini, you know, here. And then you can kind of throw a little jacket over it or cover up with trouser pants. It's a great look. Not necessarily to go to the market, although at this point I might go like that because I'm so sick of sweatpants. You know, I might just have to show up at Ralph's like that. But
Hang on one second. Lizzy, Kawan Foy is one of the legendary urban street fiction crime writers in the world. He wore a Dickie suit to a meeting with the president of Publishing House. Very interesting response. And that's Kawan. He will show up in a Dickie suit.
no, it's great. For some reason there's like this sweet, sexy vibe to it for guys. I don't know, you know. I think it's nice. I'm not into the, you know, holes, and I love, as much as I love denim, I'm not into like jeans with the holes everywhere so much, you know. Another favorite designer of mine, which everybody knows, is Marc Jacobs, and he does men and women, and he just takes it up such a nice level. But what's great about his level is he does couture, but there's also like a grungy effect to it mixed with like a hipster thing. But that's a whole nother story. Marc Jacobs.
Okay. Yeah, there's a whole lot of different stuff. The actors that you have on, um, I mean, you had Matthew on last night, and I loved that. I reached out to him. He's coming on the show.
I'm so
Um,
excited to
I,
hear
I really, I really enjoyed his song right now. I really enjoyed that. It's a very positive message, and if that keeps one person from committing suicide in that situation, then that's a big deal. So I'm happy that we've made an acquaintance, and I like the fact that we can kind of bounce people off one another, and kind of trade guests after they've been on the shows. That'll be good for everybody involved. More more platforms.
Yeah, he's wonderful. You know that he's a pianist, a
You
drummer,
are.
singer, songwriter, belted it out yesterday, and he's doing so much for the LGBTQ community. So I'm so
Yes,
happy with that.
absolutely. So in your opinion, is there a style that has never gone out of style?
Uh, a style or a designer?
No, so if I wore ratty ass clothes in the 80s, would they still be rocking? And some things just never die, like the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket never dies. That's always a popular one. The stonewashed jean jacket, am I a little out of date?
Well, let me see here. Okay, Stonewash had came back and then it took a little rest for a while, but now, people are kind of mixing their denim, like dark denim and then light on top. I like, sometimes my kids laugh at me, but I like that look. I think that V-neck sweaters are a classic look on both guys and girls. Never goes out of style with a great pair of jeans. I mean, I keep going on about the jeans, Chris, but the thing about it is, trying on jeans and getting a really good pair of jeans is almost like for a woman trying on a bathing suit, something, because everybody's got a different body type, and then whether they're tall or they're short, when I find a pair and I don't have to take them up or take them in, that is just like wow. So I love denim, and you see denim all in LA. I'm originally from New Orleans. I'm from the South. Sometimes when I go back there, I just think, wow, I used to dress like this, like little flowers on my dress and skirts and flats. And I don't wear any, out here, you wear a skirt and you've got a pair of flip-flops on, or sandals. So it's a little bit different. And I used to dress like that out here. And then I once I made the change, I was like, I can never go back. I can never switch back. Even today, I'm going to promote her. I'm wearing Bonnie Strauss. I like a lot of off the shoulder tops. It's one of my favorite looks. I think it's a never go out for women. And you can wear it with denim, or you can wear it with trouser pants. That's another great look. I mean, and the whole trouser pant with like a tight, or I should say form-fitting knit top, because you know what it is? It's like you have the trouser pants that are like a relaxed fit, and then the top is a tighter fit. So it all just kind of works in terms of composition.
And what you're wearing, that's a woman's top. I'm not fashion savvy. That's not something I would rock, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm just asking. There's a lot of this unisex clothing going on right now, and I don't get it. I'm just not. I guess I got old. So explain to me what it is that men and women wear that are kind of universal.
Okay. You mean that are work together?
Well, that they can actually interchangeably wear, and you wouldn't know that it was actually a man or a woman's style. It's just kind of a style for everybody across the board.
Okay, right. Like this obviously is just women,
Okay.
but there are a lot of brands actually right now that I feel like are making more unisex, to where it's like, oh, I'm wearing my boyfriend's top, or I'm vice versa. And I want to get more into that. It's more of like a tomboy look. I know with Supreme, my daughter wears my son's Supreme clothes, you know, because she's like a skater girl. And I think that's actually a very good point. I think unisex is going to be like one of the next phases, especially out here, to take off.
And how much is a coffee in Los Angeles?
How much? Oh, well, if you come to my house, I will make it for you for free. And I have organic beans from the conservatory. Their coffee, like a vanilla latte, it would be $6. A regular coffee would be probably $3, but I've just learned to make it at home. I have the espresso machine, and it turns out how I like it. I mean, my husband thinks I'm trying to kill him because it's so strong, but hey.
Hey, what are you gonna do? So
Yeah.
are hats like this in style in Los Angeles? They're not in style here, but I still rock it.
They are, and I wanted to tell you, you look very sharp in your hat.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Swap meet all the way. Swap meet. Live by it.
Speaking of, you just brought up a great subject. I thrift all the time. These designers I'm bringing up, yes, I love and I admire. I might have one piece from their collection, but I thrift all the time. And believe it or not, LA is one of the greatest places to thrift because there's so many different areas and communities. You know, you can go to Brentwood or Santa Monica. We live in Westchester. Our thrift shops, okay, but you can get some great stuff. And it seems like, you know, some days you just hit the jackpot. You go and it's like, wow, I just found so much stuff and paid so little. There's nothing better than that, right?
Not at all. Now, hey, D, my buddy D Lewis that runs the Urban Green Room with it's a very well-known podcast. Yeah. So, sorry. You know, have you ever been in the thrift store when a Donnybrook broke out between two thrifters? When somebody reached for the, yeah. So I went to the Goodwill once, mistake. I went in there and they were waiting to pull all the new merch out. And so these people go head to head like a battle gladiatorial thing. And they try to get the best deal so they can sell it on eBay. And somebody hit somebody with a mirror. And then the other person like pushed the other person. Yeah, we rock it in Hampton. Like, this is how we do it. And I was just sitting there and I'm checking out with my hat. And I looked back and I said, y'all some serious motherfuckers with the whole in the barrel thing. I was like, you know, does this happen a lot? I mean, where's the cop? And she was like, no, this happens every day when merch comes out. I was like, oh, I'm not coming back here. That's not, and somebody's going to get shot over some damn pair of 1974 bell-bottom jeans that sell on eBay for $40. I'm not, no. Hell to the no. So I started my own clothing line. Thank you.
And I love it. I got to tell you, I love it. I'm getting either the black or the white sneakers. I'm not sure which one yet. You guys look at his clothes. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
You have to look at Chris's clothing line. It is absolutely amazing. I was shocked. I was like, not shocked, but I was just like, wow, this is wonderful, you know? I'm so excited for you. No, I have not seen any break mirrors in thrift stores yet, but I have seen two women go at it for a certain top, you know? And so
was it worth it? Did you just stand back and go, that's ugly?
No, I did something I actually didn't think I would do. I went up to them and I was like, lady, the shirt, come on now. Thinking they might give it to me.
Yeah, hey, you know, I would just stand back and watch popcorns and smoke a cigarette. You know, that would have been wild for me. It's like America's Most Funny Goodwills. That would be a good show.
I think that would be a great show, actually. I mean, I love thrifting. You just have to have a good amount of time, and you know, there's some good sample sales out here as well. They do it. Another great one is at the Santa Monica airport, but it's not so cheap. I got to tell you, you go to these places and they're like, you know, I hunted for this, and it's vintage. They love around the word vintage a lot. And then they're like, you know, I paid 80, 90 for it, so give me 50. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So, you know, there are certain stores I like to go to, certain Goodwill, certain thrift stores. Sometimes I don't go to all of them because it can get pricey.
I go to the Goodwill over there on Mercury Boulevard, and they have a whole plethora of random clothes thrown in the bins. And one time I went without my wife, which was stupid, and I got a white shirt for work because I was going to go in the docks. And I put it on, and my boss looked at me when I got to work, and he said, "Is that a woman's shirt?" I didn't know the buttons are reversed on a woman and a man's shirt. Were you aware of this?
This is actually news to me.
Yeah, so there's a cut in this shirt that's very feminine. It kind of cuts at an angle underneath the armpit. Not very good look on me.
But
So I took, no, it didn't look good. I took it off and I threw it in the trash can. I came back and they folded it neatly and put it in my seat. Yeah.
Well, there will be another one.
I love you, Lizzy. All right, so
There will
we
be.
are
I promise.
we are halfway through the show, and we are talking a lot about fashion. And I want to make sure I get these done so that everybody makes sure that we do these every time. And for the last couple, I've waited till the last few minutes. I don't want to do that. Gemma Magazine, are you ready for the 11 rapid fire? Oh, wait, questions?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go with your favorite color.
Oh my gosh, my favorite color is teal.
Teal. Teal. We must speak offline about the teal color. Okay. Favorite sports team and team.
LA Lakers basketball.
LA Lakers basketball. Didn't see that one coming. Best way for you to write, is that a laptop, running down the street, jumping jacks, or on the couch?
Wait, I didn't hear the first part, Chris.
Oh, the best way for you to write, would that be laptop, running down the street, on the couch, or jumping jacks?
I would go with the laptop, yeah.
You haven't written until you've done jumping jacks while you're writing. Okay. Favorite food? Favorite food, Lizzy?
Okay, my favorite, I love sushi.
You love, I'm sorry, Dee just said, I'm not surprised you grabbed a woman's blouse. I knew Dee would go after me for that. I was waiting. I was wondering where Stan was. Dogs, cats, or chia pets?
I love fried, because, you know, that's my southern side. I love fried.
All right. Excellent. So dogs, cats, or chia pets?
Dogs, all the way.
Dogs all the way. What dogs do you have?
And I have a boxer. She is a puppy, but wow, the energy's insane. Sometimes I run with her and then I write. Because if I run with her, it's like getting it out, and then let's sit down. We can do this.
That will stay a child for the rest of its life, by the way. It will not grow up. So what did you always want to be since you're from down in the Baton Rouge area growing up? What did you always want to be? Baton Rouge.
Believe it or not, I always wanted to be either a journalist or a doctor. We have a lot of doctors in my family because, you know, Southern, that you understand that community.
Sure.
But then I just realized the doctor thing was not going to work out. It's a lot of years. So I've always been curious about people. And I was like, I got to try this. You know, I got to see how this goes. And I ask a lot of questions. I mean, sometimes I feel bad for the people that come on my lives because I just want to know so much, you know?
Yes, you have to start to mitigate those questions, or you go into a 4-hour live or a 2-hour live with the Lewises from the Urban Green Room. You can do that too. So I'm going to play to your Baton Rouge-ness. Would that be scrimps or scrampies?
One more time?
Would it be scrimp or scrampy?
You mean shrimp?
There you go. All right. That's what we call it here. We call it the scrimp scrack. That's what they call the store. I don't. I didn't name it. Favorite vacation spot, Lizzy?
Okay, this is going to shock you. Destin, Florida. I think that they have the most beautiful beaches over California. I know it's random, but you can see it at 8 o'clock at night. The sand is like snow. It's so white. The water is really warm, clean, clear. I actually think a lot of the beaches out here, unless you go up north, because I'm in Southern California, are kind of dirty. I love I really miss it. I love it there.
You could come down to the Buck Row Beach where I live, and we have brown water. Yeah, brown. So the question I have for you is, do you write to Irish folk music?
I'm sorry, I don't.
No one does, just me. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So let's go with your favorite fashion designer to finish up the questions. Favorite fashion designer. I know it'd be very difficult to find one. I saved the toughest for last, but you tell me.
Okay. And but I'll explain it. Right now, I am in love with this brand called Asceno London, and that's ASCNO. And it was started by two best friends, Poppy Sexton, and then I think Laura Lass, if I have the names straight. And they basically curate it, okay? They're not designing it, but they are traveling around the world, and they base it off of clean lines, architecture, places that they go, whether it's Morocco, or Hawaii, just all over. And it's just such an easy feel. They have like silk silhouettes, wonderful fabrics. Everything is, ethically responsible. And beautiful slip dresses. I really love that feminine form, but also where it's not forced. Does that make sense? Where it's kind of like a flow to it. So Asceno London, a lot of their kind of a pajama line, and I could see a lot of their clothes going unisex as well, because it's feminine, but it's not super feminine. It's kind of right in the middle there. So I love them.
Okay. Have you thought about writing an article on the unisex clothing?
You know what? I would like to do that. I need to do that because we're a big family here. It might help save some money. And, I'm always changing my style, and it would be a good way for me to change my style.
Hey, just don't give your son a blouse. And congratulations on his graduation. That's a big deal. 2020, congratulations. Is that the first graduate in the family, or their older brothers?
There is an older brother. You would not believe how old things are around here. So I have
Not asking. Not asking.
So we have one that's already graduated, and then the middle one just graduated, and I have one more. And then I heard yesterday the kids might not be going back to school, my high school daughter, in the fall, and she misses her friends so much, but that's a whole other situation.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. So we have about 35 minutes left. Explain to me what it is about fashion that really gets you going, because and then I go back and I grind it back out the next morning. So what is it that just keeps your passion, like for me writing, right, or these chronicles? What is it that keeps your passion in fashion just keeping it flying off the shelf?
Okay, I had a hard time hearing you first, but I got you. What keeps my passion in fashion going?
Yes.
I think the fact that it's always changing, Chris, and that it's just something, and I love, when I look at a new thing or a new trend, and I'm like, I'll never wear that. You could never catch me wearing that. And then 3 months down the line, I'm wearing it. But not just trends, just the fact that, what goes into creating it. I'm talking to so many designers. They work so hard on their collections, and I just get so excited when a new collection comes out. I like to analyze it. I like to read about it. And then I'm like, I want to introduce this woman or this man. I've got to get this designer on here. And they're very busy, very smart, and very creative. People think it's, sometimes people think it's a little bit on the official side. It's a true artistry. It really is.
So do you find when you book guests that you have to book with them out by like a month, month and a half to try to accommodate their schedules?
Yes. What's funny is I was surprised with the actors and some of the musicians, especially. They, sometimes will have a day and say, you know what, I can do it in 2 days, or I can do it next week. And I'm like, that's great. Let me get your questions. But with the designers, like if things were normal right now, here in summer, but they're about to display, if we weren't in a pandemic, they would be about to display their fall collection, how it's always ahead. And they are harder to get a hold of. But talking to them is always wonderful. Finding out what they're inspired by, finding out, again, like I said, the journey of how they got there. And a common thing that will come up usually is like, I would watch my mom, watch my grandmother make clothes, and then she kind of said, come over here and help me, give me the pins. And it's amazing, how some of them just had like a family mentor. And that seems to be a very common answer. It does. Much more so than the acting,
Yeah, I wish I had a mother that when I was growing up, that didn't work out too well. I got my ass whipped a lot. So, that's just the place I came from. Are you having trouble hearing me?
No, I can hear you. I can't see you that well.
Okay, I'm pixelating. Yeah, I'm pixelating. So if you hear a question, Lizzy, just keep talking. Don't even worry about seeing me because they can hear you. They didn't tune in to hear me. They tuned in to hear you, so don't worry about that. Okay, Miss Ray Sean just showed up. So that's awesome. So can you see me?
No.
I'm gone. Great. I love technical difficulties.
I know, and I just wanted to say really quick, because I didn't mention it earlier, that I really appreciate you acknowledging my son's graduation. Please know that. Not many people do that, so that's very kind. Thank you.
Oh, that's, it comes with the territory of being polite, right? There's a lot of people that don't even care to do that. Sometimes it's the one thing that keeps you going. I think Matthew's song is something that keeps people going.
Yeah.
And that's, he's good stuff. So Miss Ray Sean just showed up. Can you see me better now, or am I still fuzzy?
I cannot. I don't know. I hope it's not. Well, no.
No, you're clear. You're clear.
Okay.
Oh, you're clear. Can you hear my questions?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, then we just keep going. So talk to the folks about the fashion sense that have just joined us that are from LA, and they are attempting to kind of break into that scene. Maybe they're looking for some advice on how to be a good fashion editor.
Okay. Fashion editor. All right. So that is a tough one. That's a tough job. Let me tell you, I would say to try to get a job out of public. Forgot to mention. Then you move up and you move up and you can contribute. I contributed to so many different sites until I really got the confidence to start my own. And I think, at first I thought, great, this is all I'm going to do is keep contributing when there's so much I want to show on my own. But, you know what? You end up really grateful for that experience, all the way back to the Culver City News or the Santa Monica Observer, because it was kind of like, wow, I just walked in and asked. And you have to have a really sharp eye. I mean, the thing is I can't design and I don't draw, but I really know what I like. You know, like I like your hat. I do like your hat. And I know when I see what shirt, you know, a certain shirt for men, or I'm looking through a magazine, or I'm looking online, I know exactly something I want to post. It's just, it's something, it's hard to explain in words. It's just something sometimes I feel, to be honest. And I have everyone has a different aesthetic, and that's fine, and a different style. But fashion editors are usually pretty sharp, and you know, in terms of sometimes they're told what to look for, and then other times it's up to them to create their own fashion story, you know, which is a big task, actually. You know, coming up with the location and the photographer, models, and is it going to be a swimsuit shoot? You know, is it going to be something maybe in Palm Desert or Palm Springs, and we're going to go that way. And then you have a stylist assistant. I mean, it gets really creative, and it can get complicated, but fashion editing is probably my favorite thing out of everything I've ever done. More than writing even, just, you know, I just love having that eye and, you know, looking and saying yes, no, and writing about it, of course, too.
Sure, sure. Am I clear again, or am I still fuzz?
No, you're clear, and I can hear you too.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that passed. All right. So, you know, in your opinion, do you see that fashion has kind of changed through the times? And you said that it kind of recycles back around. Do you see the old school, like, I'll show you, yes, behind me? Do you see the orange, the 70s
Yes.
orange? So am I back in style now? I've had it since the 90s, so.
Orange is a hot color right now. Let me tell you, for patio furniture, for outdoor, you know, it's a nice, it's a very modern color. It's very popular in the desert. I like it. I like the orange chair.
So you remember the real Kay Bailey? I sent you the information last night.
Yes.
So she just said loving what you do and being gifted in that field is important. So y'all two hook up. That'd be great.
That's so nice. Thank you so much. I mean, you know, I don't always get it right, but it's subjective too, you know. I mean, it can be.
Well, you know, if one person gives you an opinion, then that's an opinion. If 10 people tell you're an asshole, then it might be an asshole. I don't know. I mean, people have told me that, and I don't still believe it, but that's all right.
No, I cannot
Yeah,
call you too nice.
yeah. Hey, you know what? I've been called every name in the book, Lizzy. It ain't gonna bother me now. You know what I mean? So, you know, do you see that the actors are difficult to deal with that you're getting on your shows? Do you have to deal with publicists and managers, or do you go direct to them?
Okay, so I will say, even though I have to wait longer a lot of times for fashion designers, you know, that's okay. I'll go through the waiting time. Sometimes I'm very lucky in the sense that I've had the opportunity where certain PR companies will contact me and say, hey, you know, will you cover so-and-so on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or this, you know, supermodel, she'll be back in town in a month. So I do get those opportunities. But a lot of times when I do approach it on my own, and I get very much like, I want this person. I want to interview Brad Pitt. Okay? Just an example.
I was going to say, you're looking at him. Yeah.
I want to interview him. Okay, it was, again, or, you know, Joel Kinnaman, just an example, from The Killing, another great Netflix series. Well, I'm finding out just because I watched it and I analyzed it. It doesn't always mean you're going to get that yes. So, and going through a publicist is very hard because they will definitely tell you, nope, this is not going to happen. It's probably better that they tell you that, you know, from the beginning. I have gotten a lot of yeses. And I just interviewed someone from, do you watch Ozark?
No, I watch patterns go through my brain at night, and then when I'm not chronicling, I'm spending time with my wife trying not to fall asleep on her shoulder. So no, I haven't seen any television in 30 days. I
Well,
would love to get back to it, though.
yeah, I mean, I'm the type that will be up till 4 a.m. to finish the season. So I just interviewed, I know, Felix Solis. He plays the head of the Mexican cartel. So that was, you know, fun for me. And those came pretty easily. I was excited, but don't get me wrong, there are tons. Oh, the real Kay Bailey said, love that show. Yeah, it's a trippy show. I mean, Jason Bateman, he like writes, directs, produces it. He's amazing.
Could I pass for him? No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Lizzy. It's okay. We're gonna go. So keep going.
And so, yeah, the other profile was Brad Pitt. That profile was Jason Bateman. Perfect. Okay, and then, you know, there's tons of notes, and that's just to be expected. I can't cry over every note. That's how you learn, you know. I've had a lot of good luck with this. I've got to say, what's so ironic is I was kind of fearful and, you know, hesitant to enter that world because I'm like, music, I don't know it as well as fashion. I don't know it as well as, you know, acting and art. And with the musicians, they have been the kindest people. Like, didn't you find Matthew to be incredible?
Yes, Matthew actually hooked me up with somebody else who's a huge player in that world. So we'll talk offline about that. Yeah, but I got some great news right before the interview. So yeah, we'll talk offline.
He's
yes,
wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful person.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of them come on lately, and plus they probably want to play too right now. You know, there's so many venues that are closed, and that can't happen. So, and they have all played live, and it's been wonderful. You know, for a while it was like, okay, you guys, I'm not like trying to create The Voice or anything, American Idol. You know, they kept saying yes and yes and yes, and it was great content for me. But with the actors, the ones I've interviewed have been wonderful, both women and the men. I was lucky enough, this is like a once in a lifetime type of thing where I got to interview Shiva Nagar from American Assassin. I know men love her. No?
I know Lizzy from Gemma magazine. Does that carry weight?
I mean, yeah, you know,
okay.
She was great. She was really wonderful. So, you know, sometimes you least expect it, something will come through and you can't even believe it. And you're like, oh my gosh, now I have to, you know, get this perfect. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, they also want to plug their stuff and promote what movie they have coming out or what show they have coming out. So, one thing that I struggle with is when everyone, like someone is so popular and everyone's interviewing the person, I don't want to jump on board. You know, I just feel like, how many interviews does this person need? But
plenty.
Yeah, that's what it's look like.
That's the ego part of it all. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's go back through for those that have joined a little later or for those that are going to pick up the rerun. Let's go back through who you are, what you do, what Gemma magazine is. Let's cap it off.
Okay, so I'm Lizzy Collazos. I am the editor and the creator of GemmaMagazine.com. I cover artists, I cover fashion designers, actors, and musicians. Very passionate about what I do. Lately I've started doing lives, and this is how I met Chris, who's an amazing, amazing guy. We've been able to talk about the business, and it's been wonderful. You've had great advice. So, and I still write, you know, like, of course, I publish articles still, and, but I've really been enjoying the lives, you know, and getting to know people. That's been a lot of fun. So, I mean, the past month, and I'll probably do that through, well, I'm not sure how, I don't want to put a time limit on it yet in terms of that, but I do want to cover shoes. Shoes are supposed to be really a hot thing coming up, you know, in terms of making clothing pop. So that's good for you, you know.
Just a little bit of guidance from you, I think we'll be going in a good direction. I'm just throwing shit up there right now. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. You know, it's just, it looks cool to me. I don't know if it looks good to you, but hey, I'd buy it. So
No, what was great. So I thought it was wonderful. And my Instagram, I know I sound like an infomercial, is at Gemma Magazine. My Facebook is actually under Elizabeth. But I do have a Gemma page. But Elizabeth Collazos but I'm mainly I'm more of an Instagram person. Do you do Facebook?
no, but my social media manager publicist does.
Oh,
I don't go on it.
no.
Thank God for her. That's all I can say. Did I ever tell you that story? So when Facebook first came out, I didn't want to participate. And my wife used to send herself the points to play the game or whatever the hell that is. Do you remember this? The candy, whatever. Anyway, I just got fed up with just trying to send this over to her account. So I basically said, you know what? Here's my phone. You send it to yourself. Give me the phone back, and we'll just keep it moving. Unfortunately for me, I didn't hide myself very well. And some lady came out of the woodwork and said, you look like this guy I used to know. And in parentheses, I'm not joking. And my wife actually said, and who is this? And I went, Facebook is the devil. Facebook is the devil. So no, I do not touch it. And thank God for KB. So you were saying, where else can we find you?
It's just funny to me with Facebook how people like start having real life, you know, conversations and hitting on each other.
Oh, yeah. When Corona ends, is it going to go down? We don't know, but it might. Not with me, it ain't. Not with me, the hell it ain't. No. I had a bot tell me the other night that I was the sexiest man's and handsomest man's in the world. And if I didn't want to have relations, that I could unfollow her. And I wrote back and said, thank you, bot. I much appreciate your time. Unfortunately, that is a no-no for me. Feel free to unfriend me. I even made a haiku of it. So, you know, I don't know if the bot got it, but I sent it anyway. But I feel like I've arrived. I feel like I've arrived. When I finally get hit on by a bot, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good. A lot of love doesn't come my way that way.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
So
I'm telling you.
So you have Facebook, you have Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
I am, but why do people keep telling me Twitter is more for political issues? Is this the
most definitely. That's why I got off. Mm-hmm.
But I would put all my stuff on there, and it was like nothing. And then, you know, I saw the trend about, you know, political issues, and then of course our president loves to tweet every other second. So
another reason I'm not on there.
Yeah. So I mean I am, but I haven't even checked it in a while. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter halfway.
Yeah, pull out of Twitter, Lizzy. It's just not worth it.
No.
I got a lot of love on Instagram as a writer. You'll get a lot of love from like Mother Magazine and Strawberry Lit Magazine. And I know Shannon just showed up, and, you know, all these people that have been on this live, you know, everybody hit up Gemma in the DM, man. Let's network. Let's get it out there, you know, and we'll say hello to everybody. You know, you never know. I never thought I'd have a fashionista. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm a writer. I can create it. Fashionista on the show.
Promo, I was like, OMG, which sounds very fashionista. I mean, I was like, I love the fact that he's got, like, this looks great. Totally.
I got a lot of people coming on. In fact, Stan was the one that told me that my stuff looked janky as hell, and I need to go make it look professional. So this is why I'm in the chair, not smoking cigarettes while we talk. And then I'm gonna have a pair of Ubi Chronicle shoes behind me when I get them. So I'm stepping my game up.
No, you look really, you having me on, it means a lot, honestly. You have a lot of followers.
Oh yeah, I love it, man, and I really appreciate you showing up. We got about a few minutes left. So GemmaMagazine.com is pretty much where you want to go to listen to or to read about your publishing, your writing, fashion, these type things. GemmaMagazine.com, all one word.
Right. And once I can, I'll just say this, once I can start attending events again, you know, the content will seem a little bit fresh. You know, by now they would have started for sure. And there's nothing like going to events and reporting upon that, you know, but that just can't happen right now. So, but again, going live has made that a little bit, you know, diffuse that situation. So, but thank you. I had a great time.
I told you it would be all right. It would be all right. See? So, yep, I'm going to close it out for the night. I'm going for a walk at Fort Monroe where the last tribe takes place. So, yep, I will catch up with you soon. I'll give you a call. All right?
Take care.
You too. Nice to talk to you. Thank you, Lizzy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was Lizzy from Gemma Magazine, and she will be, she's available on GemmaMagazine.com. You can find her on Instagram at Gemma Magazine. You can also find her on Facebook under her actual name. So if you guys, you know, had fun tonight, please tune in tomorrow night. It's Friday and Saturday night, which is very rare for me. I'm going to do a Saturday night with Baby Savage. Baby Savage from Louisiana will be in the house tomorrow night, talking about his new projects he's got going on. And if you're into rap and hip hop and singing and moving and dancing and all those type of things, come on down, and we will be here at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock your time in California. And if you haven't tuned in and haven't seen it before, my name is D.B. Bray, and I am the writer and the Chronicle person, and I'm the one that wrote Blood and Whiskey 2, Firelands, and The Last Tribe. So please check out my work. I really appreciate everybody's time tonight, and I hope everybody has a safe one. As usual, ooh, wait.